We are all about facts, not
fiction.
Fear. But we also aren't about fiction.
Right.
Good call.
I just yelled the word.
You just yelled the word.
Live TV.
Appreciate it. And providing information. You all right?
Yeah, I wasn't looking at the prompter.
That's hilarious. And providing information to keep you and your loved ones safe. Our favorite cardiologist in, what would you call that? Almost a Kelly. It's almost a Kelly Green.
It's just green. It's green. It's
Dr. Kohli joins us live. And Dr. Kohli, we wanted to get your take on the Russian vaccine we just mentioned. No clinical trials. What do you think?
So how do I say this nicely? I am very, very, very skeptical. So I personally have not seen any phase 1 or phase 2 data about the safety or efficacy of this vaccine. And as far as I know, there's no large-scale phase 3 data, only a few hundred patients, according to some reports, or maybe even less, that the vaccine has been tested in. Wow. So without this kind of data, it's very dangerous to be promoting this type of vaccine, because sometimes we only get one shot at having a vaccine and giving it to the population. So it's almost like we had nothing, and all of a sudden this vaccine dropped out of the sky.
Too good
and
to be
I'm
true.
Definitely not ready to sign up. Yeah,
too good to be true.
Definitely too good to be true.
I don't know. Putin said it. I'm on board.
Yeah, right. You know what? Maybe they were rushing it along.
It's got, yeah, there you go.
They were rushing
it's
it.
got a V in there. So
or maybe if it had. Maybe if it had a different name instead of Sputnik, I might be more likely to try it.
They branded it poorly, I agree. This vaccine is topping the headlines, Doc. Back to schools is at the top of parents' minds, though, right now. And one reason is that over the last month, there's been a 90% increase in the number of COVID-19 cases.
Is that a lot?
That's so much in children in the U.S. I'm surprised. Dr. Kohli, why such a severe increase?
Yes, we have seen such an alarming increase, Tori, and I think there's three main reasons for that. So the first is the total number of cases in the community is increasing. So as that pie gets bigger, the slice of that pie that belongs to the kids also proportionally gets bigger. And this is really what we're seeing in states like California and the states in the South, where the cases are increasing very rapidly. The second reason is increased testing. So up until now, and most recently, we had been testing mostly symptomatic adults. And we know that kids have minimal or no symptoms with this infection. And now that we've realized that kids can catch and spread it, we started testing more kids, even some of those asymptomatic kids. And so we're finding it more. And then the third reason we've been talking about as well earlier this week and last week is that kids are now congregating more. They're coming out of their quarantine bubbles. Schools are opening up. They're interacting more than they used to. And that's the reason for the increase.
Wow, 90%.
That's a lot. Dr. Kohli, now, if we're speaking about different age groups, what advice do you have for parents of elementary school kids?
That's a good question, Al. So elementary school kids, if you can imagine to back when you were in elementary school, they don't really have a concept of the science. They don't understand that the virus is spread through person-to-person interaction. They don't understand that masks are safe. They don't know how to wash their hands well. They don't know that hand sanitizer is not edible. So it's really the parent's job to incorporate all of these techniques into the child's routine at home, to change their culture a little bit, get them used to these types of changes so that when they do head back to school, they're able to incorporate these easily. So this is a photo of my nephew who's almost 3 years old, and I've been working really hard to teach him how to wear masks on the playground and how to wear eye protection. But you know, he's such a ladies' man that I just can't keep him away from the girls.
I love it.
So he doesn't get the concept of physical distancing.
He's a mini
It looked like he was confronting her over a scooter issue. Like that,
I need to talk to you.
Just give it back and there won't be any problems.
Yeah, I need to discuss this with you. That is so cute. You know, what's so funny, Doc, is that Al and I were talking about when the need to survival in the makeup room was that we need to adapt. So adaptation for the kids is masks might be scary, but it's got to start now. Otherwise, we're all going to have COVID forever. You know what I'm saying? So adaptation needs to be flexibility, movement with that. Don't you think?
Yeah, just one more adjectives and we got it.
Absolutely. And you know what, you guys, I would recommend parents to incorporate it. Like for my nephew, I taught him that it's part of his superhero costume.
Yeah.
And for someone else, it could be part of their bedtime story, because there's some concern that experts have that if kids don't wear masks properly, it can actually increase the risk to the kids because they're touching it or they're not covering properly. So it is really important to adapt and teach your child how to wear those masks correctly.
All right, so Doc, it's flexibility and adaptation will help us with our ingenuity in terms of these masks.
Thank you so much,
Bill,
Dr.
absolutely.
Thank you for not mocking me. And tell your nephew, I think he's adorable. You'll be back tomorrow, of course. If you guys all have a question about coronavirus and you want answered by Dr. Kohli, write us on social media. You can email info@dailyblastlive.com.